Hello and welcome back to the factory. I'm at the stage of ordering all the little bits for the conveyor belt. I've got all the wood for the construction and I shall start that sometime after Christmas, the actual building structure. But each conveyor belt for each floor I'm going to mount on a platform. These little 5-volt, sorry I'm losing the light here. These little 5-volt motors are pretty pokey, despite I've put a pound coin in so you've got an idea of size. They are quite small. But with the gearbox, I had a job trying to stop that shaft with my fingers. It's got plenty of power. Anyway, the shaft is 3mm, so these phosphor bronze bearings arrived fairly recently. I've got a bag full of them. I wouldn't say they were cheap, but there's no way around this really. It's got to have, for longevity, the whole thing's got to last. Obviously the phosphor bronze bearing won't be on that, but I was just checking it for size. Now the thing with conveyor belts is to get the belt to run consistently true, you do need a way of adjusting it. And the way I envisage these conveyor belts, they will be approximately 30 centimetres long by about 45, 4.5 centimetres wide, maybe 5 centimetres wide, something like that. And I've got some neoprene flat rubber, 50mm wide. What was it? I can't remember. I might have got 45 in the end. That I'm going to use for the belts. I will figure out how I'm going to fasten end to end. But at the end of each conveyor belt there'll be a roller, and I'm going to make those out of wooden doweling. They'll be the actual moving rollers, and across the bed of the conveyor belt I will run 3 rolling rollers, so that the belt can run across it. I may not need it, but I'm really thinking about resistance. I don't want too much resistance on it. So that's the kind of stage I'm at. Now most conveyor belts have an adjustment of this sort of configuration. If you look, it's got a bolt and a nut, and then you can adjust it, and there's one each side, so therefore if the belt starts to run across to one side, you can adjust the bolt on either side to get it to come back, and also maintain the tension, which is also another important thing. So although it is quite small, they do need to run true, and the more I've dug into this, and just as well I haven't got into the construction, the more I realise I need to get a grip on that. So yeah, we'll be running on phosphor bronze bearings. The motor will sit to one side of the conveyor belt, so if you imagine the belt runs across here with a roller here, there'll be a shaft that goes through that roller which will be coupled to that, and there'll be some little grub screw couplings that are going to come so I can connect it to the motor. That will drive the one roller. That's all I need. The one at the far end can be free running, and any in between. The sides of the conveyor belt, because I've got these phosphor bronze bearings through which the shafts will run, will be aluminium and 5mm thick. That gives it some sort of rigidity. These phosphor bronze bearings are actually 5mm deep and 5mm in diameter. It's only the internal diameter that's 3mm to take the shaft. So if I make 2 flat strips with a hole drilled here, and I've ordered a 4.9mm drill bit. This is just guesswork on this. I'd rather start with a slightly smaller hole and make it large enough for that bearing to go in, so we get a really tight fit. So they'll be pressed into the holes each end, and providing I'm accurate with my measurements, we won't be far off on the belt, providing they are equal distance each side. But I do need a form of adjustment, so the one roller, probably the powerhouse roller, will need to be adjustable. If not, I can make it the other end, it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm doing today. I haven't been idle with the factory, not by any means. There's an awful lot of stuff that's arrived, but I'll be talking about that in the new year, at which point hopefully I will have got the construction of the factory, at least the bare bones of it, which is all going to be made out of 9mm plywood. But I'll just sort of talk about this, and if you've got any ideas, do put them forward. But that's broadly where we are with the factory. Thanks for watching.